Hi, my name is Greg DeGeorges. I'm the owner and engineer behind SimMetric Driver Performance Labs, North America's first mobile driver coaching lab. We use a CXC Motion Pro 2 simulator to give drivers virtual track time while at IMSA and Blancpain SRO race events. We also offer eye tracking glasses that we can use both in the simulator and at the race events in real cars to give drivers a really unique coaching tool that's never been brought to motorsports. What's really unique about what we do is that we're completely mobile. We're actually the first mobile driver coaching lab or mobile sim lab in North America. There's plenty of sim labs all over the country and they have fantastic coaches and fantastic simulators, but with us being mobile, we can actually go to races all over the country or private events. For instance, we're here at Sebring this weekend for the 12-hour with IMSA, and obviously WEC will be returning for their 1,000-mile race tomorrow. But what's really unique that other sim labs really don't have the purpose in doing is that we can do qualifying and race simulations where we can have a driver come in where they get 2 laps to warm up tires, avoid curbs, kind of have a really clean warm up, and then they can lay down 3-4 laps, really consistent, bring it back in, we can debrief and then do another qualifying and another qualifying and another qualifying, and then they can walk out of the trailer, get in the race car, and then do the actual qualifying. So they've actually kind of worked through qualifying. But we can also do driver preparation with people who don't have simulators of their own, or they want a coaching lab to come to them and get the full coaching experience rather than just driving on a simulator on their own.
My name is Kenton Cooke. I've been driving race cars for the past 15 years now, and actually I've been driver coaching for the last 5 years. Driven everything from Miatas, go-karts, to prototypes, and everything in between. And I've driven actually a lot of simulators as well. I have my own sim at my own house. That's pretty, basic. So I'm pretty into the sim thing because I find it to be a pretty good help and tool to learn as a driver when you're going to new tracks and things like that. And what SimMetric Labs has here is actually a pretty cool way of being able to involve sim to a whole new level of aiding in driver development from not only driver coaching, but also racing cars.
My name is Albano, and I'm the performance coach for SimMetric Labs. I've been driving race cars for, I'd say, a better part of 10 years now. And from what I can tell, CXC combined with SimMetric Labs is the best representation of driving on a racetrack, period. What makes it happen really is every driver input that you give the car. Pedals, steering. The pedals and the steering wheel are pretty much the biggest part about driving in a simulator to really get your mind thinking that this is a real thing. You're never going to come close to the real thing as far as feeling and sensation, but what you might do is come close to everything else. In a real race car, you're never really moving that much. Yes, there are G-forces on your body, but you're strapped in. You're not getting jostled around that much. You're not having crazy angles of pitch and yaw. So from a simulator standpoint, because the simulator can't go 180 miles an hour, you really just need to feel a sensation of where you are on track, the different parts of a track that make it its specific track. We're here at Sebring this weekend, and of course Sebring is famous or infamous for the bumps. So driving a sim shouldn't feel like you're going 180 miles an hour. It should feel like, okay, you're at Sebring, this is where the bump is at turn 17, and it's right there in the sim.
One of the coaching utilities that we're really excited to be bringing to the motorsports paddock for the first time that we haven't seen commercially available to customers and gentlemen drivers is eye tracking glasses. They have the ability to record where your pupils are focused at any point in time and map that onto what you're seeing forward. So we can use them in both the simulator and in the real car to really kind of quantify what you're doing with your eyes.
So I'm a driver coach as well, and I coach quite a few people around the country. I travel a lot, and I've used this actually as a tool of SimMetric Labs. They've got a really cool thing, it's called eye tracking, and it's a really cool tool that you can use that helps track your eyes. One of the key things when driving a race car is knowing where your eyes are looking. And it's actually paid pretty good dividends for a person that I use this with in this lab.
Having worked as both a strategist and a data engineer in the WeatherTech series, we spend a lot of time looking at really customized timing reports that can really well detail exactly how and where drivers in different cars and different classes with different BOP levels, how they're losing time or where they're gaining time. One thing we're proud to offer are these custom timing reports to even lower level teams that may not necessarily have a strategist or a data engineer or the software to work with that can do these. So for teams across IMSA, we'll be offering these custom timing reports within 5 minutes of the completion of a session.